Today we're going to be doing some pretty basic stuff. I'm just going to be going over redstone with you guys, making sure that everybody's able to understand different pieces of redstone, what it's used for. So what we're going to be using today, we're going to be using dispensers and droppers, pistons and sticky pistons, redstone lamps, tripwire hooks, stone and wood pressure plates, wood and stone buttons, blocks of redstone, trapped chests, daylight sensors, comparators, repeaters, redstone, torches, levers, hoppers, and then whatever block I'm going to use here. I think I used quartz. So, here's what we're going to get started with. Okay, for some basics. Redstone itself doesn't carry power. Okay, you got to actually put power into redstone. Wow, look at me, I'm terrible today. So, if I were to take and put a redstone torch down anywhere within this line, it'll send power to it. I can put it here, I can put it here. Now, if I put it here, it's going to carry the power through the redstone up to, you see it right there. Boom. See the big difference there? Okay. So that's going to allow you to carry power from this block to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 blocks away, and then it stops. So to show you, the redstone lamp won't turn on, but if I place it there, it will. Okay, so now another way to do this to extend it. Okay, if you need to extend it, that's where the repeaters come into play. The repeaters are going to restart that signal. So it's basically like adding another redstone torch right here. So if I take this, I can go out another 15 blocks and still provide power to something. Okay. So now I carried that signal for a total of 30 blocks, well 31 blocks counting this, to here. And then this is the 32nd block all the way from this redstone torch here. Now, the different ways to power this redstone. This is where your different things come in, like buttons. So we're going to go ahead and get started with buttons first. Now, there's two different buttons in this game. There's a wood and a stone, and a lot of people don't understand the difference. So just to show you real quick, I'm going to put a redstone signal off here to here. We're going to break this one, and I'm going to put in a redstone lamp here and here. Go ahead and get rid of that. So here's going to be your biggest difference. Watch this redstone lamp come on and go off pretty quick. Come on. See the wood button, it lasts a whole lot longer of a redstone signal. So if you're making like a secret door or something and you want to have the time to be able to push the button and get in, the wood button is probably going to be your best bet. The stone button is a very, very quick signal. Okay. Now, you do have pressure plates to be able to power this with. Now, to use a pressure plate, you got to put the pressure plate above the redstone signal. So you got wood, you've got stone and you've got wood. So the stone one, on and off, the wood one, on and off. Okay, they're both pretty much the same. There's not much of a difference between them. Okay, it's just, what do you think looks better is probably the biggest difference between them. Now you've also got levers. Levers are going to provide a constant signal for you. Okay, so right now it's providing the signal off. Flip it on, and it's constantly going to be on. No matter how you look at it, this, when it's on, is going to keep that on. Now, you also have tripwire hooks. So for tripwire hooks, you're going to also need string. You place two tripwire hooks. I forgot to grab some string. And some string. Place the string in between them, and there you go. Now when you break that, when you step in it, it's going to go. Now it's a very quick signal though. It does not last very long. It's on off just like that. Okay. Go ahead and get that out of there. Now, repeaters allow you to not only extend a signal, but to make it last longer. Okay, so how to show this, I'm gonna put 2 stone buttons here, so that way they're both the same. One of them is gonna be on what's called 4 ticks. This is tick 1, tick 2, tick 3, tick 4. This one will still be on tick 1. Okay, so the difference is gonna be, I'm gonna push this one, there's not gonna be much of a difference. Push this one, it's gonna take longer for the signal to go past this, and it's gonna take longer for the signal to go off. See how there's a delay there? But when you push this one, there's no delay, it just goes. No delay, and a little bit of a delay. Now you can put multiples of these in here to be able to create a longer delay. And now it will really be noticeable. See how you can actually follow that signal? So that's another way to delay the signal. If you don't want to make a wood button or whatever, if you want to use the tripwire hooks but you want a longer signal in there, throw a few repeaters in. It is a little costly though. It's 2 redstone torches and some stone in order to make a redstone repeater. So those are it for buttons, levers, tripwire hooks. Now there is a way to take, if you take and you place down a lever, okay, and say you want down to be off, all you gotta do, you need a repeater, you need a block, and you need a redstone torch. You're gonna break the signal wherever in 2 spots. You're gonna place a repeater going into a block, going into a torch. And how this works is the redstone is putting the signal into the block, so it's turning the torch off. Now if you take this and you turn it up, it allows no power to go into this block, so the redstone torch turns on, and therefore the signal is positive. Now this works in many different applications. You can take, actually, if you don't want to use a repeater, you can take the signal and put it up on top of the block, and it's still going to do the same thing. It's going to allow it to power that torch. Now another way this can be done is you can take and you can place a redstone torch on top of a redstone torch. Powers on, powers off. Okay, or you could even do it this way. I've seen a lot of builds done this way. I do a lot of them myself this way, to be able to carry a signal upwards without using a whole lot of redstone. A redstone torch is 1 piece of redstone and a stick, and it creates a redstone torch to be able to create that signal. So very easy way to be able to carry a signal throughout. See, the signal switches and then it switches again. So that is pretty much it when it comes to being able to swap signals. Now you can take and do other things that are a little bit more complicated, we will get into later. I will have another video coming up with some T flip-flops in it. Those are going to be coming up here, probably the next video I make. Now to get a little bit further into redstone with you guys, I would like to talk about a few other things. We're going to talk about sticky pistons, and we're going to talk about pistons. Okay, now go ahead and get me a button. I'm going to provide a redstone signal coming off. Place both buttons. I'm going to place a block on both to show you the difference here. Okay, a piston, it goes up, comes down, the block stays there as long as it's not sand or gravel. Sticky piston, the block goes up and comes back down. So that's going to be your biggest difference. Now to make a piston, it takes some iron and some redstone. To make a sticky piston, it takes a piston and a slime ball. So in order to make a sticky piston, you need to have difficulties on in order to be able to kill the slimes and get the slime balls. Now there are ways to get around this. Like I said, you can place some let's say sand there, and that way you can use the same piston in the same way, but that's only going to be for up and down. The nice part about a sticky piston, it'll pull blocks in any direction. Now, pistons can push a pretty good amount of blocks too, okay? But they can only pull back one. Now let's see. Still able to push it. Still able to push it. Still able to push it. No longer able to push it. So this is able to do, let's take off that one. It's able to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 blocks. It's able to push 12 blocks in any direction. A piston will do the same thing. So 1, 2, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. It's able to push them up, and then they're going to stay up. Okay, so there is some good potential here. These can be used, people use them for cobblestone generators, to be able to make the cobblestone and then push it up to where it continuously makes it until it gets up to 12 blocks high, or however you want to do it. Those are something for a later video that we can get into. Now, those are pistons. Sticky pistons are what's most commonly used indoors, because you just place two of them like this, place blocks. Here's your door. You know, however you want to make it. And then you provide a signal going to it. And you provide something going into that. Let's say a button. So what it does is it allows you to provide a hidden doorway, let's say. I use them a lot in PvP worlds. I'll get sticky pistons as quickly as I can to be able to cover up my base to where people aren't able to see it, but you're still able to get in and out of the base. So sticky pistons are your best friend when it comes to making a hidden base that you don't have to keep on cutting down blocks and placing them back. Okay, so very easy way to make a hidden base there. Now, trapped chest and comparators are what we're going to go into next. So comparators. We're going to start right with comparators. Okay, comparators look like this. They've got two different ways to do a signal. You've got add. It adds two signals together, or subtract. It'll subtract two signals. Okay. So just to show you here real quick, we'll come out here. I'm going to place a comparator with subtract, and I'm going to place a comparator with add. Now, we're going to go ahead and place some redstone signal coming in here. So the first signal goes in this way, the other signal comes in from the side. So as you can tell, this is a signal strength here, this signal strength here. We're going to go ahead and place a torch, and what it does is it's going to subtract those two from each other. So it's only going to come out so much. Now, if you switch it over, it's let's see here. Let's take and provide a signal going in, provide a signal coming out, and a signal going forward. Maybe it's from the other side. I think it is from this side. Now, so this is 2 and 2. I don't know. They used to subtract from each other. Oh. Let's see if I put a lamp here, will that turn on? No. Oh, they're the exact same signal. They're not going to turn on. Now let's take and place a redstone signal here. Now that should turn on. There we go. Yep. Okay. So on subtract, this is 3 minus 2 is going to be 1. It's only going to output 1 block. If you take a look, it's not going to turn on. So it's 3 minus 2. Now if I do, let's say 5 minus 2. Okay. 5 minus 2 is going to be 3. It's going to allow it to come out 3 before it stops. So that's one way to use a comparator. You can use them in a few different building applications that way. It's all on what you want to do with them. They are used in a lot of other ways for a lot of other things. For example, if you take a comparator and let's say a dropper or even a hopper, okay, so you have your comparator, you have, let's say, a dropper, hopper, whatever it is. You can even put a chest here. Okay, let me grab just a regular chest. Now, no signal's coming off, but as soon as I put anything in here, a signal comes off. Now, the signal coming from a comparator, if it's attached to something like this, is only going to be 1 block. So a lot of times what you do is you place a repeater and then you place your redstone signal to whatever you want. Now you can use this for a lot of different things. You can use it for traps, you can use it for entry systems, whatever you want. Okay. There is a door system that I use comparators in a lot. There's also sorting systems that you can use comparators in that we will be getting into soon. Now hoppers. Hoppers are going to provide the same type of signal. Okay, it's going to provide a signal of 1 when something gets into it. See how it only comes out 1 block? Now I can place a repeater and extend that. Okay, but that's whenever something goes into a hopper. Now what is a hopper? So a hopper, let's say you have a chest. Okay, so you got your chest and you want to put something into that chest, but you want the chest to kind of be hidden. You can place a hopper down, and whatever goes into that hopper is going to be fed in whatever direction the hopper is facing. Okay, so for example, if I want the chest to be here and I want the hopper to be here, you crouch down and place it on the side, and you see how the bottom of it changes to where it's pointing in that direction. So you're going to throw something in there and it's going to be in the chest. So these are great for making automatic ovens and stuff, which we will be getting into also. Now, going into chests still, trapped chests. Trapped chests provide a 1 block redstone signal when open. You can use these for a lot of different things because all you have to do is take and place a repeater after them to make the signal go longer. Okay, so if you place a repeater, oh, look at me here. If you place a repeater here, it's going to allow that signal to be extended out. Okay, so you can use these for like alarm systems if somebody's going through your stuff. You can use them for traps. You can use them pretty much for whatever you want. There's a lot of different applications that trap chests are going to come into play. I do like to use them for traps mostly, or for alert systems, you know, allow you to tell when somebody's trying to go through your stuff. Especially yet again if you're in like a PvP world or something like that. Now, daylight sensors. Daylight sensors, I feel like they're a little glitched out right now, okay? Because daylight sensors are going to provide a signal whenever it's whatever. So right now it's set to day. Now you set it to night and it's still providing a signal. Now, why? I have no clue. It shouldn't. Let's take a look here, see if we can figure this out. See, it's still providing a signal even on night. If I cover it up, still providing a signal. I don't know what's going on there. Day and night, it's just providing a weaker signal, is all. Okay, there we go. So now, when it's set to night, during the day, it's only producing a signal, let's say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks in length, because if I place a, yep, see, it's not going to turn on. Now if you set it to day and it's daylight out, it's providing probably a full 15 block signal, it looks like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. It's providing a full 10 block signal. So it used to be whenever it was daylight, it would turn on if you had it set to day, and whenever it was night, it would turn off whenever you had it set it to night. Now, let's take a look here. Let me set it to night real quick. Okay, see, now it's not providing a signal at all. Okay, because it's set to day. If it's set to night, it's providing a signal. So it's only if you have it during the day. For some reason, it is still providing a signal. Why? I don't know. I don't know if it's just a glitch or whatnot, but you can use those in multiple different applications, whether you want it to be like a day counter. I've seen people use them as day counters in worlds where people want to keep track of how many days it's been that they've actually been in the world. So Minecraft days, because it goes based off of the day-night. So that is the daylight sensors. Now droppers and hoppers are going to be real, or droppers and dispensers. Droppers, dispensers, pretty easy. Okay, they look a little different. Each texture pack is going to be different on how they look. And just to show you what they do, crouch down, place. Now, droppers are just going to drop something. Dispensers are going to actually shoot them out. So if you look, droppers, it just kind of drops it. Dispensers, it's going to drop it also. But if you place something in here like, let's say, an arrow. Okay, we're going to grab some arrows here. Let's say I place them in here and I place these in here. Just to make this easier, I'm going to break this down. I'm going to place a block right in the middle. Okay. See the difference there? One of them shoots it, the other one drops it. Okay. Pretty big difference there as to how it's going to dispense particular items. Okay. So stuff like arrows, there is a difference. Now, there is also a difference with things like, let's say, water and lava buckets. Okay. So I'm going to put one in here. I'm going to put one in here. One of them actually dispenses water. The other one actually drops it. Just drops a bucket of water. Okay, so see, this one just dropped a bucket. The other one actually dispensed it. And it's still going to be in there. If you look, the bucket of water is in there. When you dispense it, okay, there we go. When you dispense it, see, there's no water left in the bucket. You've got just a bucket because it actually used it. And then when you turn it back, it's going to go ahead and pick that water up. Now, that can work with lava, can work with water, doesn't matter. So that is your difference between droppers and dispensers. You know, it's all on what application you're going to use it for. Droppers are used a lot of times in, let's say, making a refrigerator. Okay, you make a refrigerator in a world, you just want it to look cool, but also you want it to actually give you food. You're going to place some food in here. Let's grab some real quick. Okay, let's say we put in some steak and some mutton into here. And then we're going to go ahead and place a block button. Okay, so it dropped a steak. Now it's dropping a pork chop, steak, steak. So it is actually going to be random as to what you get. Okay, it is very random, but at least it's kind of a cool thing to have if you want something in your house to be able to give you food like that. So that is pretty much it for the basics of Redstone. It covers a wide variety of different things to do with different pieces of Redstone building materials. Now, there's a lot more you can do with them. All of these pieces can be used in multiple different ways. We just covered the basics today, and we will be using them in future builds. So I hope you did appreciate this video. I hope you guys did like it. If you could take the time, if you did like it, to leave a like and subscribe, and leave any comments or any questions that you have below, and I will see you next time.